Yo, what's going on, guys? Back on episode 4 of Lovecraft Country. I just want to say this before we start. So I know a lot of people are probably gonna take like our recaps as like, man, you guys are really shitting on the show. I'm just gonna say it like this. I feel we want the show to be better. Um, I'm kind of past the whole racism is the scary thing to me personally. Even though I know racism is scary, don't get it twisted. It is scary in the real world, but in the confines of this show, it's like I think you brought up a good point, Anthony. Is like you can't show me the racism in its tense and then cut to the spooky stuff immediately afterwards. Like it kind of it throws you off a little bit, you know.
Well, what I could say about this episode in particular was I felt like the racism kind of took a back seat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It took a back seat, and we were immediately thrown into Uncharted.
Bruh. So episode 4 is called A History of Violence. Summary is basically after Christina mysteriously shows up at her doorstep, Leti confronts Atticus about his plan to return to Florida and searching for the missing pages. They head to Boston with Hippolyta and Diana, and along for the ride. And back in Chicago, the handsome stranger, aka the white brother, helps out Ruby in a very interesting way. Sorry.
Helps it, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, this whole episode was pretty much National Treasure, Indiana Jones, Uncharted, all like cobbled together as one.
In other words, a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed the pacing of this show more in this episode than I've enjoyed it in the other three. This was actually well paced. I was down for them finding this occult cavern with all these booby traps that somehow connected. Like I was down. This is kind of the episode I want to see. You know?
Yeah, I mean, because it was like I guess let's start with this. So one of the interesting aspects of the show was Ruby, and apparently she was looking for a job at this department store, and they didn't take her, you know, because schism and such. And apparently another black woman ended up getting the job, you know, instead, which kind of made Ruby feel some sort of way. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I'm assuming that is because maybe Ruby isn't what they wanted from a black woman for the job, I guess. That's my takeaway from it. I don't know if that's what it was.
My takeaway from it, they had a quota.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the black quota.
I want to say she mentioned this in her first episode or second appearance. I can't remember which, but she mentioned she wanted to go down there and try for one of the positions. They're not going to hire a colored girl, but she's like, you don't know until you try. So it was like her dream job in a way,
yeah.
Which is, you know, it says a lot in itself that just to get an department store job, you know, you're cut off from any access to that.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting in the fact that the brother rolls up to Ruby while she's playing jazz. And I'm going to say this. I agree with D. D will probably jump on and talk about it. But that sex scene was it was something. I don't know if they earned it, but clearly there's a motive that's coming with this, I'm assuming.
A means to an end, my friend. A means to an end.
Now, do y'all think that he's probably using her to get to Leti in a way?
I see it as a possibility.
Or
I think it's an inroad to the family and to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something special about the house, right? And it's not just the ghost; it's connected to the other, things going on. So I think there is a master plan there, and they're kind of like, him and his sister are kind of like a third faction in this. You know, if you have the major cult thing, and then you have, you know, our heroes, and you have them doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because we saw a moment in this episode where apparently the other part of the lodge people that are part of that little cult group that we saw in the second episode, they're not too fond of the daughter kind of like just doing whatever and stuff, you know, and they're like, hey, you're a cunt. I mean, white women do not like the word cunt. This is something that I didn't know for a long time, but apparently white women don't like being called that. So that's interesting to me. I really didn't know that. I swear to you, I really didn't know that. That was like derogatory.
That word cuts deep.
I mean,
it is a deep cut.
I mean, but yeah, they didn't take too kind to that and stuff. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then on top of that, like, it was kind of funny that she's playing hide and seek with the kids and the cops roll up there. I was like, hold up. Is she with the black? Okay, she's not with the black kids. I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, she playing hide and seek with the black kids? Oh, no, she's not. All right. Because that was weird for a hot.
Because you're looking for the racism angle.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was. I was just like,
the racism angle.
Let's be real here. 3 episodes of the same tropes you kind of expected at this point. Also, can I point out that am I wrong to wish that I could have that same thing when we see this white woman try to walk up to the door and she immediately gets bumped by that force field?
Oh man, the fact that the magic kept her from going in the house, and she's like, "Oh, okay, this works now."
I really like they're taking the concept of warding and putting that in the story because that does play a lot of part in a lot of the Lovecraft horrors, but it's also just a staple of this genre, and I really like that they were seeing on the big screen. I don't think we've really seen it before, and that there's something to the traditions outside of this magic group because the Haitian woman did that, right? Was she Haitian? I can't remember what she was, but she did the goat,
she was
right?
Haitian. I think she was Haitian. Yeah.
So I appreciate that, and it added another layer to this world. So I'm cool. I feel like there was really good world building in this episode.
Yeah, it felt like this was the turning point that the show needed, I guess, in terms of going into that whimsical aspect that it needed to do. And cool. I mean, from all intents and purposes, from other people that I know that watched the series already and stuff, they said this was the episode that's kind of the turning point to get the show kind of focused into the whimsical and all the other stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you.
I'm just gonna say, yo, Lovecraft, give me more of this.
Yeah. I mean, and like to what y'all were both saying and stuff. The fact that the ghosts from the previous show tied into them going underground, because that elevator that we're in, that took them right back to Chicago, didn't it?
Yeah. So that makes the what they showed at the end of the last episode make more sense, because I was like, is there just a tunnel underneath the thing that they just jump by? Like it's right in front of the elevator. But it was connected more to this occult type of thing, and maybe it's fast travel or transportation. Because I guess
from Boston to Chicago that quick.
And it was like a whole nother world pretty much underneath the museum, with big caverns and stuff like that. And it reminded me of like Lovecraft and Houdini collaborated on a work of fiction where it just showed Houdini falling kind of like he was in Egypt and he went into an underground cavern and found all these like occultists and like weird symbols and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Like how many times have they like collaborated, like Houdini and Lovecraft?
As far as I know, they only did that one story. As far as I know.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I was like, that was an ongoing thing. You got me kind of curious now.
No, I think it was just that one. I think he was the name at the time, and he was into all the occult stuff, and I did a Lovecraft story.
Yeah, but it was also too Atticus's dad. He's actually pretty much been. Oh, go ahead.
And also, I can't remember. It might have been Lovecraft or somebody who used Lovecraft's world, but he was in a Lovecraft story.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Also, Atticus's dad. He's been pretty much on the drinking bender, and stuff since in the episode 2 and stuff. And what was funny is that they kind of imply that I don't know whether it's the bar patrons that are actually like alluding to that and stuff, that apparently he has a relationship with the gay guy that we saw in the first episode. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's cool if that's what's happening, but I like that he kind of was just sitting there like, well, I'm not going with you guys. Y'all need to stay away from that shit, which I'm hoping that they dive deeper into what he knows, because Dude was captured for how long before they freed him?
I don't know, but at least months, right? He was gone for months or weeks or something like that.
Yeah, it had to be for like months.
It was a hot minute.
Yeah, so he was gone for a while. So to me, I'm assuming based on his actions this episode, he's seen some shit and he knows some shit that he's laying on. Because the fact that he was like, yeah, there's 39 more lodges, and he's like, Atticus was like, yo, how did you know there was 39 more? He's like, I guessed. I'm like, come on, dog. You don't guess 39 more lodges.
Yeah.
What a response too. I like how that was his first immediate response. I guessed.
Come on, dog.
I also like how they showed the characters were intelligent without having them drop quotes every minute or name drop in a book or an author or a poet. Like they just showed them being observant and figuring things out. And that was really refreshing. Just show us they're intelligent. You don't have to like force that. They read. We know it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, even going down to like Leti getting the map before they went underground because she kind of figured out that the map had something to do with that underground network of tunnels that they were in. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She picked up on that when they were on their little museum stakeout and stuff. Which I feel bad for the guy that got left behind because Hippolyta and old girl just bounced, and I'm like, so. I mean, I know you say you needed a ride to New York. Yeah, you need a ride in New York, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to Boston, so you can just drop me off on the way back. I'm like, so he just left him behind, huh? All right, cool.
Yep, he got left behind. He got given the
this weak ass game.
He was given, he was given the Huel treatment from Breaking Bad. To this day, he is still sitting in the interrogation room.
It's like this money. It feels so good.
Now, you know who I feel bad for? This show proved. Do not jeopardize your job for other Negroes. They will screw you over. That night guard getting fired in the morning.
Oh, bro, like he's like, yeah. So, did you let these 3 Negroes in here? we see an opening to a tunnel underground. You let them in? All right. Well, you're fired there, buddy.
They break the glass and steal stuff. They cost that man his job.
Missing a map. Done. But going to what you were saying, Sue, about like the whole idea of it being Uncharted. Oh yeah, when they went underground and they were going across that play, I was like, that is such a Nathan Drake thing. Only thing Nathan was like press circle to dodge.
The QTE moments, because like, dude, when the plank started to disappear, I was like, oh boy. I was like, y'all better figure out something.
Figure the puzzle out. And I was like, Adam did this. I'm like, oh shit. Like, okay.
Like first the plank was disappearing, then they get to the door, and and there was an arm that was left behind.
No. They got to the door and they had to press the button.
Oh no, you're missing the whole part. Because I was like, there's a pendulum. They had a brand new pendulum on the plank for no reason. It wasn't security. It wasn't.
No, I was actually gonna get to that. Like then with them trying to cross over, you had the pendulum swinging left and right, and it was swinging real quick.
Yeah,
and it's dark.
Dude, it's just a button press at the end though. It's like you gotta push the buttons in different sequences, and then you'll get into the door. And I was like, man, I would have failed that shit and been like, whoop, I guess I'm dead. Done.
Oh, I wouldn't have been dead because I wouldn't. If that was the stops, I wouldn't have jumped on that plank. I was like, I'll see you up top. Like I would not have jumped.
Right.
So y'all got this. Y'all got this. Cool.
I'm gonna just turn around and get back up there.
I mean, but like it was crazy too because it was funny because I wasn't expecting because when I saw them, like before they even got to the elevator, when they got to the other side and it was water, right? And I saw the underground, I was like, hold up. The underground looks like the same as the last episode. And I was like, oh shit. They managed, I guess, to make it back to Chicago underground. I was like, well, this is interesting. And then that's when we saw the dead body of the white dude that, broke into the house last episode. And I was like, okay, all right. I see what you're doing, and stuff.
Dude, it was the dead body of her freaking neighbor that went missing.
No, he was one of the guys that actually broke into the house. It was 3 dudes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was 3 of the guys that broke in and the ghost killed them.
Are they introducing an element where? Are they introducing an element so they can travel around the world in locations, and believably, I guess, now to get to those other locations.
I'm assuming if that's what they're gonna do with this underground thing, but the tunnel is like flooded now, so are they gonna use it again? Probably not.
Doesn't it flood every night?
I didn't know. That's the
I thought
thing.
that's what's going on.
Kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, also, the they try to do the Indiana Jones with the sun, with the moonlight hitting the thing, and I was like, oh, come on, you mean this happens every night? Like this happens every night and nobody's noticed this?
It's like this random security guard's like, hey, what's this light do? Chink, and then the door opens. He's like, okay. Well, no. If he's a black security guard, he's looking at the door and just shuts it back like, nah, I ain't going in there. You got it.
Nope.
Speaking of Indiana Jones, how about after they got through after they got through everything and they made their way through the room full of corpses, they finally reached the treasure, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a hot second there, I said, what? I was like, for a hot second, I said, okay, they reached the treasure. If this thing goes Crystal Skull and we see an alien, I'm going to be very upset. I'm turning this off.
Bruh, because I saw the thing there, right? And at first I was like, so if they grab it, the skeleton gonna come alive? And it did. And at first I was like, all right, this is kind of like hokey, but whatever, right? Did not expect the skeleton to reanimate back to a trans person.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
That was.
Did not see that coming.
Were they trans or was it a hermaphrodite?
I think it was hermaphrodite. It was like man and woman, because we saw the genitalia right there and we saw the tits. So yeah, it was hermaphrodite.
What did I just walk in on?
And
the hermaphrodite part.
I mean, I was talking about my weekend.
And what made it wild though was seeing, seeing how all that went down. I'm like, bro, this thing is reanimating, and I just couldn't get over that. I was like, yo, that's an actual corpse. See, at first I thought it was just going to be, Night of the Living Dead style corpse coming back to life, and no, fully reanimated back into an actual human being. Okay.
Special effects actually wasn't that bad.
And then goes into speaking a whole other language. Okay.
No.
Yeah, the corpse thing was good. I like that. The thing I hated about the FX episode was the fake blood. It's like his Iron Man. And CG blood doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I've never seen a scene where CG blood works really well.
I mean, I think Ninja Assassin was the last one I watched that had like CG blood and it was very cartoony and stuff. Funny enough, John Wick actually has CGI blood, but you can't tell.
Because it's mostly dark shots.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's good ones I just haven't noticed. This was
bad. I mean, D said it best because it's like dark shots when he's shooting, so it's kind of like the muzzle flash shooting a guy, and then you see it, and then he just drops down, and it cuts to the next person that he's killing. So,
Walking Dead's got CGI blood.
See, I can't even tell with Walking Dead either.
Okay,
unless it's like blatant stuff, like when they blow up a bunch of
this just sucked.
So, there was a certain scene where they played a Rihanna "Bitch Where's My Money" or whatever and stuff. Yeah, wasn't really a fan of that.
Again, look, when it comes to music, I get why you would put updated music in there, current music. I'm for that, but at the same time, it don't fit. I know I know what it sounds.
Yeah.
I know what it sounds like in your head. Do you know how much bull crap I put in my head when I write, like, yeah, and then we're gonna play that song, it'll be all hot. No, it sounds good in here. It sounds excellent in here. But when you do it, it's like, nah.
I mean, what y'all feel about the Marilyn Manson when William and Ruby were
talking? It's the same thing.
Like, let me make
how did
they think that these songs fit is the question.
That's the problem. See, I don't mind you doing
that. If they're going for the lusty feel of it, I'm assuming that when they did the Marilyn Manson, it was going for the lusty feel, but it didn't fit.
Again, Chris, I know what it sounds like. You know what? Here's the thing. You know what every writer that is my age wants to do? They want to make a sex scene to 9 Inch Nails closer.
Yeah.
And guess what? And guess what? Everybody has a different version of it. And I know what it sounds like in your head. Put it on paper. Put it on paper, put it in motion. It looks disgusting and nothing fits. I guarantee you.
Look,
So it's one of those
I
situations.
have seen Evangelion mixed with Nine Inch Nails closer, and
I see that was hot. Actually,
Bro,
that was hot.
I've
That
seen
was
that
hot.
I've seen that video. That video was super infamous.
Hey, Chris, that junk's
This
hot. I ain't fake.
Well, I think for me, it just takes me out. The music takes me out the scene, and I know what they're going for, but does it work? And I was thinking about it, like imagine if they're putting up to date songs in Boardwalk Empire randomly, like
Bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same.
it just throws me out of it. And I'm sure there's music that I would love to be exposed to from that era. I'm sure there's stuff that you could find.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because it's like I guess
we don't need a
those
Rihanna
guys,
song.
but I guess in their head it's like we got to put some up to date music, and I'm like, you can't get somebody to go back through the 1950s and pick some music that matches whatever you were trying to do for the scene. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could, but
No. It's gotta be nasty and sexy. And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why, Chris, I said they didn't earn that sex scene. They didn't earn it. Not only was that sex scene a checkbox type of sex scene for me anyway. Number two, who thinks this is sexy?
So I have a theory here.
Who?
I have a theory, and Eris, you and D will probably laugh. Anthony, you probably laugh too. Y'all play Resident Evil Code Veronica, right?
Oh God, here we go.
So I've never seen the brother and sister in the same room together.
Here we go. I have the same theory.
What are the odds that they're one and the same?
I have the same theory.
Well, first of all,
that'd be trippy. That would be trippy.
No,
exact same theory.
No, I can answer that. I can answer that, CJ. First of all, they were there. Like, remember, the sister was the BOW in the end.
Yeah.
And the brother, he was running around dressing up as the sister.
See,
he was himself, and then he would also play his sister. But in reality, the sister was the weapon at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking in the sense of like the sister is dressing up as the brother, and they just kind of they swap
or using a
and stuff because kind of like using it. Yeah, like they're using a spell to kind of like swap between both, like they both never been in the same room together at all. So I'm assuming that there's something going down where they're both maybe either sharing the same body and they just switch.
Look. I say where there's smoke, there's fire, and also I think there's going to be something stupid to go in there. There's going to be something just stupid. It's just not. It ain't going to ruin it. It's just going to be like, why would you add that?
Hey, look, man. I will say this. So the skull comes alive as an indigenous hermaphrodite and stuff, and they talk about Titus and stuff, and its history with it and stuff, and how cruel it was and stuff. But then they realize, Atticus, it can't tell like Atticus's heart, I guess, in terms of whether it's pure or not and stuff. But it trusts Atticus to a degree. At least that's what my takeaway from it was. Which was interesting. And I was it threw me off on the fact that that person actually went with Atticus, and then when they escaped, because I thought it was going to be the typical, like you see these movies where the ancient person just stays there while everything just gets destroyed around them. I'm like, oh, it came along with them. Okay, cool.
And on top of that, Tick actually speaks this language.
Yeah. Atticus is.
So
I don't know whether that's just a byproduct of his heritage or he knows more than what we are leading on.
Well,
he's Harry Potter. Okay, he got the Harry Potter going on.
No. I got no. Hey, I'm gonna one up you on that one. See, you say Harry Potter, I'm gonna say this. Think back to episode 2 when he saw the Garden of Eden. That was him. I mean, that what we saw was the Lovecraft equivalent of Full Metal Alchemist, where he saw the truth.
Ooh.
Full Metal Alchemist God is a dick, so I feel bad for him.
This is true. He saw it, and then just it's like, yeah, and we're back. I can't touch it quite yet.
I'm just saying, like he saw the truth when he saw the Garden of Eden, and now all of a sudden he can understand other languages.
I mean, it's still the question
No,
of
but like
his.
truth. If he saw truth would just take shit. Like, I didn't mean to come here. I don't care. I want your eyes. What? I wasn't even
No! Take my color, not my eyes. I need to see. No. I mean, which, funny enough, what was funny that I thought was going to happen with William and Ruby when she was venting on how, like, hey, if I was you and I was a white woman and stuff, I have more opportunities. I'm like, so is William going to make her white with some voodoo magic?
No, he's just going to give her everything she never wanted. It's going to be one of them.
So, white privilege after sex.
No, it's going to be, I can give you everything you ever wanted.
I wonder if he's going to teach. I think he's going to teach her spells. And I think she's going to get drunk with power, kind of thing. I'm also kind of curious if the wizards of the KKK are actually wizards in this show. In this universe.
That was
the Grand Wizard.
The Grand Wizard.
Either he could hold on, CJ. Either he could do that, or he could be on some Eddie Murphy and Angela Bassett stuff from Vampire in Brooklyn, where he's gonna turn her, and she's gonna regret it like an episode later.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing that in the real world,
it's set up for this.
It is amazing in the real world, the leader of the KKK is the Grand Wizard, and it's just a party you just wants to go to. I'm like, motherfucker, you're in a goddamn wizard. What the fuck is this thing? It's stupid.
The dragon part gets me. When they give themselves rank of dragon, that's the issue.
I'm a dark elf. I'm rolling for 20. Natural 20.
He's like, oh, we're warping today. All right, cool. Let's warp.
My boy, you are the leader of Los Illuminados. What are we doing?
I'm like, yo, for real. I'm like, yo, if that's the case, yo, then who's that? Duke, the dude that went the KKK, the Duke. David Duke. Yeah, David Duke. It's got to be real. Let's just game was game, yo. He had to roll very high on charisma.
It's like rolling 10s on charisma. It's like, whoa.
Woo!
Hey, man, to be able to be getting to that politician position and stuff, his charisma had to be like.
Yeah, look, man, gang is gang. Let's just be real. I don't think Trump has charisma. I just think he has money. I just really think he just got
money at you.
Like, he bought his stats.
Hey D.
He ate all his stuff.
Hey D. Hey D, just to piggyback off of what you just said, a great man once said it. Even if you have no talent, you can buy credibility.
Right. Man,
shout out to Eric Duckman.
Dude, bro, Trump will play Fallout 3 and put no point. He'll put no points in charisma, so every time he has like a fucking damn speech battle and stuff, he just basically just muscles through it like fuck it, shoot him. I'm like, bro, you couldn't use your charisma. I have no charisma. Well, never mind it.
Hey CJ, this is what happens when you try to bring in a character.
No charisma.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say this is what happens when you bring in a character that's completely glitched out with the extra long arms and legs, but yeah, he's got like a million VC.
It's like, what happened? Like, yo,
you have 0 in charisma, but you maxed out followers. How does that work?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, yo, how? Fucking how? Jesus, man.
Got a buff on the whip.
Yo, so check it. I did not expect Montrose to be like to pull the solid snake move at the end. Like, sorry, I'm like, Jesus.
I gotta be honest with you. At this point, Michael Williams doing anything is working for D. So,
drunk Omar is working for you. I agree.
Yeah, and to be really honest, him talking like a slave is working good for me. I'll tell you about that boy. Come around here.
Yo, the history of the knot. Like, hey. My great grandfather tied horses up. He left that plantation on Juneteenth with no lashes. I'm like, cool. He's a special Negro.
I was like, we got time for this?
He's a special
Oh,
Negro.
my thing is, you told me y'all got an hour before this cave fills with water, and y'all want to have a conversation? Y'all want to have a conversation? Y'all deserve it.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Why did they do this in this show? They have this idea of let's stop and have a conversation like it's Naruto. Every time somebody throws a punch, we got to hear somebody talk about the backstory of how they learn how to close their fist. And then the next episode is them throwing the punch. Like, come on, yo, stop.
Well, and to answer that question for you, they thought this was the 5 minutes until Namek explodes.
Bruh. I'm like, yo, Montrose the only one that's like, dog, we got 2 hours. We can't be dawdling around. All right, well, let's have this dialogue for 10 minutes. And I'm like, what?
I gotta say,
and also, I just I want to point out something else. D, you missed it earlier when I had said this to the others. I said, yo, anytime a black man leans in and says, "I'm sorry," run. Second of all, since this is, because this is Omar, and we seen him for his like from his little his cameo appearance on Killer Season. I kind of halfway wished he could have just leaned over and said, "Run it, son."
Yeah, I know, right?
Yo, so apparently Hippolyta and Diana.
Omar guest started on something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in Killer
Omar,
Season.
or he was the.
He's in Killer Season.
Look. There was a time, I would say about 2006 to 2009. It didn't matter what he did. He was Omar.
Yeah, he was Omar.
It is what it is.
It's like your boy Atticus. He's still Atticus.
Yeah,
It's like watching a movie and Noel G just shows up out of nowhere, and his name is always Hector.
Yeah, Hector. I mean, yo, but check it. So apparently Hippolyta and Diana are going to roll over to the Arkham place that was marked on the map from, episode 1. And I'm like, well, that spells trouble, now, doesn't it?
Well, thank God there's female writers of this story, because real talk, they would have been dead.
The blood on the map, and he was like, hey, let's figure this out. Because you remember, again, Atticus and them told her try to sell her on the story. And again, mom intuition is a thing. And she's like, something don't smell right.
It's like, we're going back there for answers.
Yeah, we need answers.
But you got your baby girl in the car, and on that line was like, don't stop. Like,
it's like, we're going to stop all these places. I'm like, well.
Hey, guys, the show is about to threaten us again. It's threatening us again. We're going to get it. Well. If it ain't two little Negroes in
my town. Bruh, if that's
I will retire from this show if it goes into Deliverance territory.
Actually, here's the thing. If they don't do that, I will be upset. That's a missed opportunity.
We gonna make you squeal, Negro.
Oh my gosh.
And you know the show. But you know this show. They be like, yeah, see, if you know the story, and they be bringing up all the stuff that happened in Jamaica, you be like, oh yeah, that stuff. That's why we're so against gay people. Stop. Look. Can I just watch the show about a cult? I just want to watch a cult. I don't want to have to deal with racism. Can I just watch the show?
Hey, but did you love Montrose giving Atticus the father advice of that Leti girl? She got fire in her. You might want to hook up with her, son. Like, all right.
Look. Every now and whatever, I don't care. Gotta understand, son. Y'all both main characters. She a very light-skinned white girl. It is this close for me. I am 16.
You're a whole black diamond white.
Yo, we have this show, man. Oh god,
dude, that was the moment right there, yo. The fact that he literally summarized like, "Yo, she's a strong black woman, and you will hook up with her." I'm like, God damn, dude, like, just really on the nose.
And if a black man know, There ain't nothing better in this world than a black woman. That type of shit.
It's like, and your mother, she'd be proud of you because you're a strong man. You're better than me. And I'm like, all right. I mean, black fatherhood moments. Dun, dun.
Nah,
Hey,
see, you should have known that was a setup for something when he said you're a much better man than me. I'm like, you're gonna do something terrible, aren't you?
You know, see, this is why they will never.
I think that's gonna be
compare
his
to Joe
role in this show.
Yeah, I mean, he like I said, he clearly him being in that dungeon, he knows some shit, and he just ain't saying anything. Which
And he
I'm
read
like,
the book and then burned it.
well, obviously,
Also, and to give the show its credit, they haven't talked about this, but why were you in Arkham again? Why were you there again, nigga? Why did you have to escape? Wait a minute. So what? Yeah, see. So like I said, to give the show credit, they are kind of building to that. So I will give them that.
because I'm an asshole. Last episode, he's gonna transform into Cthulhu, and it's gonna be an all-out fucking fight.
You know what, Chris? You can suck the fattest dick.
He becomes Cthulhu.
Hold on. Because
So-
D wants it. Because D wants it. I want Cthulhu to have a do-rag like Omar.
He only he only stays on the block.
Hey yo, Lulu coming.
Cthulhu walking in.
I need Jackie Robinson to pop up in that final episode.
Oh God! I swear to God, if there is not a fucking xenomorph by the 10th episode, fuck this old show.
Well, D, just to piggyback off of that, we almost could have got that. We could have got that when they entered that room and that corpse came to life. I said, "Yo, if this thing goes into the crystal skull and we get an alien, I'm gonna laugh and I'm turning this off."
You know what? This show is threatening to be a lot of things. At least it's trying. At least you're making me laugh.
I mean, look, the turning point was great.
Well,
like I said, it was just.
This episode.
I did. I actually.
Yeah, I like the episode too. That's why that's why I had said it. Yo, Lovecraft, give me more of this.
I mean, to be honest and stuff, I was waiting for Nick Cage to pop up out of nowhere when they were, underground and stuff. Just on his, I don't know. Dude, again, it felt very National Treasure when they got to that the skeleton. I was like, that's some Nick Cage shit right here. Like, this is just.
See, you were waiting on Nick Cage to show up, Chris. I was waiting on Sully to show up with the freaking plane.
God damn it, Nate! We only got 15 minutes.
Bruh, I wish Courtney.
And all.
I swear to God, I wish Courtney B. Vance's character was still alive because he would be the Sullivan character, have a cigar. God damn it, Atticus! We gotta get out of here.
How long did you know? I back you up on everything. This right here. This looks like it's bigger than all of us. Those speeches. Look, Letty does something basic. You're like, that's the girl you need.
And and he would be the type. He would be the type to show up, rescue everybody, and be like, "So, there was no treasure down there, was there?"
I know, right?
The one thing I will always give treasure hunting movies and shows. They do that one thing. So you ain't get shit, did you? Nah, then.
Oh, dude, that's what they do. Real talk. That's what made
Almost died though.
That's what made Uncharted 3 actually so funny because they go through all this shit and then it's all of us like, we didn't get shit, did we? Nah.
No.
First one had a bag at the end. Second one, I got that junk. Yeah, all right, cool. Third game, I ain't got shit, bro.
We ain't get shit. We just stopped the Illuminati. That's about it.
I'm sorry. You have a pulse. Right? Okay. Start thanking God or whatever you want to thank at this point.
Like, yo, third game, I crossed the Rubal Holly and I went nuts drinking some water.
I'm a white boy that survived death.
The fourth game was basically, hey, your brother threw some gold coins in my pocket, so we're rich now. And it's like, oh, well, that was nice of him.
I think if I had a complaint about this episode, it would be that the puzzles when they security or whatever was really basic, right? It was kind of like knockoff versions of like Last Crusade, except not as well done because we didn't have any context for what you were, you know. So like even so, you know, in the Last Crusade when they do the bridge, it looks invisible from a certain angle, and you the leap of faith it. I got that kind of feeling. Yeah, and then you know, and again, what was that? The '90s was Last Crusade like the early '90s or something like that.
89.
89. So I mean, there's I wish they could have took some time, and I don't know how they're splitting directing these episodes or writing them. I wish they took some time with giving us context clues about how, so we can also try to figure out what they're saying. You know what I mean? Because even when they had the Adam Eve press the blocks and stuff, like we really couldn't see a good picture of what she was pressing. You know? So I might have to explain this right.
Because I mean, there was a moment where you saw the camera when Atticus is pulling the hand out the door. Where the camera, I'm like, was this on purpose of them having the camera show what was underneath the water and above the water and stuff? I don't know if that was on purpose or accident. I don't know.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. It's not a big deal with me, but you're right. They didn't show it. It's easy to do this. Something got my hand. It's easy. Show it. Show the things going in. The thing that this whole show is kind of missing to me is that element of terror. And the only terror that anybody has got has been from the racism. And I've been telling everybody that's the problem. That's the problem. Nah, that's real. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, if you want a good example, Temple was.
We're trying to be scared of the things that we know that are not real, or at least we think they're not real. Ghosts, the ghosts, spirits, all the occultic crap. We're supposed to be scared of that more than the act. So that's why when y'all have we had those animals come out of nowhere and eat everybody up. I'm not scared. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because not only there's whiplash, but you built up Sheriff McGruff over here to be a bigger threat than the goddamn monsters. That's my biggest problem. There was nothing scary for me. There was actually some parts of this episode where I was like, consequences, okay. That's why I actually like this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was like when they got to that underground thing and stuff, and they were about to grab the thing and stuff, and all of a sudden the skull came back, and they were genuinely like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh, you know," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's dope." I wasn't scared, but yeah, it's a good little jump cut and stuff. And again, I wasn't expected to reanimate. I was like, "Oh, it reanimated."
I was with Omar though at the end of it. As soon as the corpse sat back down and said, "You know, I will not help you," Omar was like, "Yo, I'm taking this and we getting out of here."
All right, cool.
The G stands alone.
I think that's cool. Let me show you something I learned in World War II. I did this too. No, you got to say Nazis like
I also feel like the main characters are too safe.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Very too safe.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Montrose is going to be safe for a minute because he knows shit. You know, Atticus is safe for right now, so that leaves Hippolyta and Diana, the two that's kind of like, I wonder what's going to happen to them. You know, because I thought it was interesting too with their little adventure in the museum. Hippolyta was talking about she was named after the star and stuff, and it was a nice little mother-daughter moment and stuff, and I thought that was actually pretty great and stuff. I'm glad they didn't show. It was funny enough. I'm actually glad for once there was no racism in the museum. Everybody was just in the museum just looking at shit, and I was like, oh cool.
Because I was ready for them to say.
In this show, I expected to go, my mom named that star. Shut up, nigga.
Shut up, Negro.
Niggas can't see stars.
That's very.
They could have easily ADR that into the after production. Like, shut up, nigger.
Hey, you know what it'll be? She'll say that and say, "Oh, that's very nice, little Negro girl having such beautiful dreams like that." So you always go for that. You something like that, but you won't get nothing like that. You know, something just to drive it in. That come on, we gotta show. Come on. I think the audience don't know that white people are evil.
Yeah.
Did you love William going Jason Bourne on the cops? Just walked up to him and just Jason Bourne the fuck out of him. I'm like, whoa, dude, where did this come from? My man, where'd you do this?
That right there was a level of white that we can only dream of.
Dude, if that was a black dude, they would have shot his ass before he even got to the car. A white dude just walked up on him. It's like, you're gonna let this dude just walk up on your car? Like, and you know what though? To be fair though, I like how they initially was like, oh, this guy's coming up to the car, and I'm like, hey guys, he's walking pretty fast.
You think he saw us?
Whose footprints are these? Like CJ, the last time, I think the one and only time a black guy got away with that was the flashback scene with Jim. The flashback scene with Jim Kelly from Enter the Dragon.
Yeah,
man. Listen, my man came up to that car, CQC,
and he had to leave the country, and
left
the country. He was smart, very smart.
Oh, William CQC the fucking guards, and they all day everyone's like, "You just came for your sister, man. I'm sorry, Jesus."
The book.
I'm sorry.
Tell your boss doesn't like being followed. Could you just said that?
Could have just said it from afar, dude. You just busting them up and shit. It's like, Jesus Christ.
This could have been set up with a conversation.
So there were other ways of doing that. You know,
indeed. And you was right. You was right with this episode. Leti was extra light-skinned power walking.
Yeah, because that's all she...
That's her only speed.
That's her speed.
Hey, man. I did
appreciate the director was like, you were angry this episode.
That was definitely her. No, she has two speeds. Angry power walk and angry at skinny white women.
I mean, I did appreciate how
and she talks to her teeth when she's angry.
Hey, yo, she was look, and I understand it. She was extra pissed at Atticus, like, so you were just gonna roll down the floor and not tell me shit. Gotcha.
I was gonna shoot a white woman and then go down the floor. It's like, I say what you said here.
Okay.
I don't know what, like, you know, this is the thing I be talking about, y'all women, man. Y'all women, I swear, man.
Them putting that stuff in the back of the car was kind of funny, though. That was some shit that women be doing. They be doing some angry slapping shit down, like, all right, words have meanings, honey. Just saying, just slamming shit down. Jesus Christ.
Right? I'm fine.
Right?
Is there a problem? No.
I bet that you just hit her with a passive thing that women say. Oh, honey, as you know, words have meaning. Then she look at you with an evil glare. You're like, oh God, you're attacked. No. Hey, Eric's like this. Eric's like this. She looks at you with that evil glare. Your attack points and your defense go down.
Hey, look, I've got it a couple times. My dad said, like, right, and just slam. I'm like, okay, is that all right? We never
So you trying to stop somewhere before we?
You want some Chick-fil-A? We can go to Chick-fil-A.
It's gonna be a long trip. It's gonna be a long trip. You want to, get that. Play that new.
That car ain't that big. Hey, can I get a ride?
Bruh, like we already said, old boy got left behind.
It was like a 15-hour trip, and dude was like, "Can I get a ride?" No.
Like who invited?
Where did that come from? Like that felt like that just came out of nowhere to me, man.
Well, I like how he called him out and was like, so apparently we fucked in high school, so obviously I should know that you have like a long dick.
Don't you just love how cut and dry that was?
Yeah, I got 3 legs and a tree.
Trip, right, or whatever.
It's like, yeah, and because apparently we fucked in high school, and I'm like, bruh, you should have just shut up and not said nothing, dummy.
Stop talking.
Hey, look, it was one thing when he did
and
that.
And then you want to bitch at him for lying on your dick.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, first off, Atticus already looks like he'll probably just knock your ass out, so you might want to stop. Just while you're ahead.
He's like, I ain't concerned about this, bro. Like, you should move.
I don't know.
Actually, Atticus just looked at him like, nigga, you only get one today.
I don't know, y'all. If old heads have taught me, anything, they some annoying ass niggas. So I can only imagine if pussy is involved. I can only imagine.
Yo, D, what was your first clue? I say homeboy from GTA 5, the one that just got out of jail.
Yep.
Body
Okay.
plays
You
GTA
need
5.
you need to be putting respect on your elders. That nigga's like 38.
Fuck, man. Well, yeah. Next episode, apparently, it's like you said. Definitely. I guess Ruby is going to get magic because you saw the butterflies and stuff in the preview, right? So clearly, there's
Yeah.
magic.
So do you hear that, black women? Let a white guy come inside you.
Again.
No problem, by the way. I want people to
Let me make this very clear because I know we got some people that don't really know us. D, let me make it very clear to all you black women. I fucking love you. Oh my God, I love black women. I love all the colors. I love y'all. Oh, if y'all were Pokemon, I will collect all of you. I love black women. So when I see a white boy touch a black woman, just a little bit in my feelings, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Usually it don't bug me. Usually it really don't bug me. But what bugs me is when y'all try to flex it. That ain't gonna fake. Ain't gonna fake. Hotep, he's a motherfucker cool.
Into Ruby's head so quick. I'm like, so how much whiskey did you give Ruby during the course of this talk? Because she was already like she was ready to risk it all in that moment in that conversation.
You said how much whiskey? Here's me. I don't know about. Let's give it 7 inches. Let's be nice.
Look, man. I'm keeping it real. This is gonna be on some Vampire in Brooklyn stuff right here because she's gonna she's gonna learn the magic. She's gonna be able to. She might go power hungry, and at some point she's gonna regret it.
She's gonna almost kill Leti. She's gonna almost kill Leti. Oh my God, what I'm doing, girl? What I'm doing, girl? What I'm doing? What I'm doing? And then she'll become a regular character again, losing all her agents.
Hey, we're gonna get
right. I know
There's
that's
gonna be some light skin versus dark skin conversation. Your daddy loves you or whatever.
I mean,
it's a coming. It's
the
a
voodoo
coming.
magic face off is gonna be real, and that's gonna be hilarious.
The reason why I mock this is because smart black people all write the same to me. Y'all not clever to me. So it's like this. Insecure, I was hard on it. Insecure is actually a pretty damn good show. I was hard on that show. But then there are some people that try to do what Insecure do. It's like, shut up, you HBCU sweater wearing ass nigga. I know what you. This is so basic.
Like BET's Boomerang. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
BET's Boomerang show was literally great value Insecure, and I was so mad too because I'm like,
that's what everybody calls it. That's what everybody calls it because that's what it is.
Like you didn't even take the idea from Boomerang, which is the one guy being like misogynist towards all the women that he's fucked. You couldn't even do that. It's just like this isn't really Boomerang. It really isn't at all.
What are we doing here, BET?
So you just took the name and just said it was nice, and I'm like, not even a cameo from anybody. You couldn't even get David Allen Greer to pop up in there for a hot second or something. I don't know.
Hey, hold on. Did it get renewed for another season? Because there's always a chance that David Allen Greer can show up. Don't do that. That's a threat. Don't do that.
Old man David Allen Greer and
still being gay. Come on,
I doubt it. You gotta look. I doubt it from both of y'all. We got a higher chance of David Allen Greer showing up in this show.
That's true.
He'll show up in Lovecraft before he shows up in Boomerang.
I'm still waiting for Jedi Ghost Courtney Vance to pop up. That's all.
Oh yeah, me too. But this episode gave me hope.
Oh, there's hope. There's hope. I mean, look.
I gave up on the show, so try to entertain me other ways. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, it did its case and stuff. I mean, we're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes left and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see where this rolls and stuff. So, but anyways, this was great to recap. Funny enough, this dropped Friday because it was Labor Day weekend. And apparently, HBO didn't want to get caught up on Power coming back in the season finale of P Valley. So They decided, hey, we're gonna release
That
it.
sounds like a good move. That does sound like a good move.
Yeah, because black people like power, so they was like, fuck it, put the shit on Friday. So
Here's the funny thing. I see the trailers for it, and this comes from a person that didn't watch the last 3 seasons of Power. I just hear it from everybody else. The story is over.
yeah, we're just hey, look, I'll say this.
The story's over.
There's a reason why we're not doing Power for 3BG because I'd rather just enjoy it and riff on it on my own time versus just recapping it. So no, that's not
Look. Much like I get into fights with people with this. Much like Empire, I get it. I don't like Power, but I get it.
Oh yeah. And I think the best thing about this season of Power is that they took the fucking white boy Tommy off the board, and they took Ghost off the board. So now we get motherfucking Tariq, and we gotta follow him and Method Man and Mary J. Blige trying to be fucking Auntie Tony Montana and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool, I guess.
And I know somebody would say like, "Well, D,
I've never seen an episode of Power. I don't know what you're talking about, but y'all are not making it entertaining right now. Y'all not making it seem like I don't understand what you.
I mean,
but Chris, it is kind of funny that like somebody could say like, "Well, D, why can't you do that same thing for Lovecraft? Why can't you say, but I get it?" No, I don't get it because it's not scary. I don't mind. Let me make it very clear. I don't mind none of the formula that they're doing. It's not scary to me.
yeah. I mean, and it's not to say, because like I said again at the top of the show, it's not to say racism isn't scary. No, hey, trust me, in real life, racism is scary. But in this show, again, you can't whiplash us. You can't just racism and then bam, monsters. It's like, whoa, hey.
I know I said that.
Well. Again, it's.
I was my bad.
Well,
I was saying like,
they don't take time to develop the suspense.
Yep.
No,
I mean, they developed it in this episode.
Time to develop the suspense of the horror, but they can't do the suspense for the racism. So I'm like, where is your energy devoted? And you know what I mean? Like, spend one episode at a time dealing with stuff.
I mean, this episode did focus on one thing.
Both.
They took the racism off the table, and it was like, all right, we're going to hyper focus on the suspense of the supernatural, and it worked. So clearly, they found the lane. And they just ran with that and stuff. Now,
his thing anyway, like racism is going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Much like it's kind of funny when I say people when writers do the check boxing type of stuff. Much like the scene with Homegirl with the white boy, to me it's like big black bitches get fucked by white boys every day, B. Like this is nothing special to me. And unfortunately, like the racism, I hate to say it, nigga. I'm numb to this shit. I am numb to this shit. I see a black man get shot on TV at least every 2 weeks. I'm numb to it. Yeah. Can you show me Cthulhu butt fucking everybody? Can you show me that? That's scary.
Swear to God, D, if that happens, that'd be bold move right there. Bold move.
But yes, I agree. This episode was a step in the right direction, and I do actually like it. I like it. I didn't like the last 20 minutes, but I liked it.
Yeah. So that in mind, we're going to be done with this, and hope you guys enjoyed us doing this live recap. We'll be back next week for episode 5, and we'll see if episode 5 steps it up as everybody claims it does and kind of keeps this ball rolling on the supernatural stuff. We'll see.
I have this weird feeling that it may.
We'll see. But anyways, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.